Hey guys, so I don't even know what take I'm on right now. I've been trying to film this video all afternoon, but I've just been rambling like an idiot because I'm just so happy. Yesterday I got shoutouts from GradeA Comics and Sarah Smash, and thank you guys so much. Ever since then, I've just been walking around like this crazy happy zombie, just with this smile on my face. I really appreciate it. I was never expecting anything like that, but when I watched your videos, I was so surprised and I was so happy afterwards. But thank you guys so much. I'm also happy to say that I have 50 subscribers now, which is just mind-blowing. I didn't think I would have 10, let alone 50. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and thank you for talking with me and really just I don't know, for all the friends I've made so far. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't want to ramble on in this again because I've just been talking like crazy the whole time. That was my cat. But yeah, okay, so in this video I'm gonna do some trade reviews. Two from the weekend haul video. I did 2 videos ago, and then one that I picked up over the weekend, which I shouldn't have because I'm just spending all my money on trades right now. I feel like I've bought, I don't know, 20 trades in the past 2 weeks. But yeah, worth it. So I'll go over Catwoman first. In these reviews, I don't really want to give away the ending just because I don't want to ruin it for people if they do decide to read this. So I'll just sort of give my opinion, I guess, overall. So in Catwoman Defiant, this is her first graphic novel. It's really short, made, I don't remember when it was made, but in this book, the main premise is Catwoman's going against Mr. Handsome, who's this villain who likes to steal beautiful things and destroy them. So he starts objectifying Catwoman as the most beautiful thing he's ever seen, so he makes it his mission to capture her and destroy her. He just hates beautiful things, so, which is sort of the opposite of Catwoman, I guess, because she covets beautiful objects. But for this trade, it's not necessary, it's sort of just a nice side story to have. In this trade you really see the kind of person Catwoman is, and you can definitely tell that she's not a complete villain by anyone's standards. She even literally says that she steals but she doesn't kill anyone. So it really shows the kind of character she is, and Batman's in it too, so you sort of see the flirtation between them before anything real happens between them in a relationship, I guess. He actually sort of hates her. He literally says, "You're horrible, I don't approve of you, blah blah blah." So it's really interesting to see them pre-love affair, pre-hush or anything. But yeah, of course, since it's so short, you can sort of tell who the villain is, how it's gonna end, all of that jazz. But overall, I would say it's good for a Catwoman fan. If you're not too much of a fan of hers, then it's not really necessary, but it's just a nice side story to see, especially to really... Sorry, my cat's like climbing my window. I didn't even know that was possible. But yeah, so definitely, if you enjoy Catwoman, maybe read this if you ever find it. If not, not completely necessary, but a good book just to read. So that's Catwoman. This next trade I definitely have a lot more to say about. So, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Definitely one of my favorite trades now. I would have to say that this is one of my favorite trades because, first of all, I've been obsessed with London and the Victorian era since I was about 10, I think. I've just always wanted to go there, and I just sort of put my fascination of that into the Victorian era, so I've just been exploring that, and especially because I enjoy the Sherlock Holmes novels a lot. I'm pretty much a Holmes fan, I guess you could say. I enjoy most of the media around his character now, like the 2 Robert Downey Jr. movies, the BBC show, and the new show on NBC, I think, called Elementary. Even though none of them are quite as I pictured the books to be, they all bring sort of a different aspect of him in, even though a lot of it is sort of just glamorized to make him a more appealing character. Overall, I still enjoy it because of the deduction they put into it. So they stick with him, or they stick with Sherlock's deduction in most of the media, which is awesome. They just sort of make him more of a flamboyant character, which isn't true to the books, but it's just entertaining overall. And so I was so happy to find him in this book. He's not a huge, oh my gosh, don't knock over the camera! Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. She was totally gonna knock over my camera because I have this little cord thing on it and she loves to bite that kind of stuff. But anyways, back to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So this book, I just really enjoyed it. So when I found out that Holmes, at least like a little part of him was in it, it was just really entertaining, especially because you see sort of their take on how Holmes and Moriarty faced off at Reichenbach Falls, which is awesome, but they sort of presume Holmes to be dead, which I don't think is true because in the Sherlock Holmes novels he comes back in Adventure of the Empty House, I think. I want to say Empty House, but I think it's that book. So I think he's going to reappear probably in the next volume, but overall this book was awesome. So you see the formation of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is formed by five members, Mina Murray, Alan Quatermain, Captain Nemo, the Invisible Man or Griffin, and then also Jekyll and Hyde, Jekyll/Hyde, I guess. And they form a really interesting team. They all bring different things to the table, and Mina Murray, you don't really discover her whole personality or her powers in this novel, but yeah, it's really interesting. Especially, she's probably my favorite character in this book because she's just so on point. She knows everything. She totally just is in control of everything, which is great to see, especially in the Victorian era where women were sort of, I don't know, seen to be second-class citizens in a way. But she really takes over, and because of her personality, because of her forwardness, they sort of call her mannish, which is really funny. Another really funny thing that I thought was in the beginning, which is in the introduction by the editor, he says that in this book you see 2 moral points, and the first is that women are always going on and making a fuss, and second, the Chinese are brilliant but evil. And I'm both of those things, so that's cool. But overall, this book was just amazing. The artwork was nothing I've really read before. It's just, it fits perfectly with the story, and there's just so much detail, and the colors are amazing in this. It really just brings this whole book together. I'm really looking forward to reading the second volume. I want to see what happens to Mr. M, which is eventually the bad guy in this book, and I want to see Holmes come back, which I'm hoping he is, just because I love him. And then it's just overall this book. The main premise of this book is that, well, first they form the team, and then second, the team is given a mission to get this anti-gravitational device that was stolen by some Chinese mobsters. They're afraid that the Chinese are gonna use it to make aircrafts, which they have no defense against. So that's the main kind of story of this book, but of course there's lots of twists that you'll eventually come to read. Just a brief sort of thing. Here's Sherlock and Moriarty at Reichenbach Falls, which if you have read the books, you sort of know what's going to happen next. So, yeah. Sorry that went all over the place, but I just really enjoyed this book. I don't know how else to praise it, and I don't want to give anything away. So yeah, okay, I just rambled on a lot. But overall, definitely read this book, especially if you're interested in Sherlock Holmes, the Victorian era, or just kind of crazy creatures like Jekyll and the Invisible Man, who's an extreme pervert in this book. So yeah, definitely give that book a read. And the last trade I have for you is Batman the Black Mirror, which I picked up for $10 over the weekend, and it's a hardcover and it's perfect and I love it. So I read this book so quickly. I read it probably in 2-3 hours. So this book is just amazing. It's probably one of Batman's best kind of detective stories, because you're always just kept guessing who did it, why, how could they do it, blah blah blah. So the Batman in the story though is Dick Grayson, it's not Bruce Wayne, and a lot of the connections in this book are between him and Red Robin, him and Commissioner Gordon, and him and Barbara, which is amazing. I've always been a fan of Dick Grayson and Barbara together, but if you watch Batman Beyond, or if you've watched it, you sort of see that they don't end up together, which I don't know how reliable that is, but I always wanted them to be together, so having them both in this book was awesome. But the main thing about this book was that Barbara's psychotic brother, James, comes back, who's deemed a psychopath. So you really see the family history of Commissioner Gordon, Barbara, and James together, which is a really nice insight into their characters and Commissioner Gordon's kind of view of his job and how he sees Gotham City and why he's so dedicated to it, even though there's been so many opportunities for him to give up. But yeah, there's a lot of, well, there's several different stories in here, but that's sort of the overreaching story of it. They also deal with Zuko's daughter, Sonia, who renames herself Sonia Branch, which is interesting, especially because, as you guys know, Zuko killed Dick Grayson's parents, so seeing him kind of combat with that fear and that that past history is a really interesting way to see how Dick Grayson functions. And then him and facing off against James, Barbara's brother, you definitely see the kind of parallel between them, which is really interesting to see, especially because Dick Grayson's take on Batman is so different than Bruce. Like James was saying, Dick is sort of a softie. He just really is completely compassionate for everything, while Bruce is sort of just obsessed with doing good. Dick has a more compassionate view of things, and he just really wants to save the people. So I have to say though, James' psychopath nature and the way he explains some things in this book sort of made sense to me. I hope I'm not a psychopath, but there's a lot of points where I was thinking, you know, that sort of makes sense. Yeah, so it was interesting. It was a really, Scott Snyder did a great job with this story. The writing was amazing. But yeah, definitely a great read. Jock did a great job with the really gruesome kind of things. But yeah. This probably is definitely one of my favorite Batman trades now. What else is a favorite trade? Hush. I really enjoy Batman Private Casebook 2. That is sort of like a vignette kind of story though. So overall, this is definitely one of my favorites. The art was great, the writing was amazing, and the story and the insight into the different families and sort of their past and how, even though they're superheroes, they still are very human, was just incredible. So definitely pick this up if you're a Batman fan. I don't know how much more I can praise. But yeah, this is definitely a great book. So that's all the trades I have now. Again, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I'm sorry if my thoughts were sort of scrambled in this. I'll try to be more on point next time. But yeah, thank you again. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate what you guys have done for me. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!